I don't know what I'm doing.
Hi everybody, doing something different today. Today I'm going to start with the Angel Veil by NYX. This is the Skin Perfecting Primer. I did put a little bit too much of this on, but it seemed to smooth out pretty well. Then I went into the Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator. I'm trying to tell if this is actually a color, but I think it says Gleam on it. Trying to keep this in like a E/3 formation on the outsides of my face. It just gives you that kind of nice little glow from within. The NYX eyeshadow base, I don't see a shade listed on this. The consistency is very smooth and creamy, and it seemed to offer enough coverage. It gave me a good solid base. I actually used this for all of my eye looks today. Next up is the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. I got this in shade Camel, and I'm not entirely sure it was the right shade for me. Seems pretty dark, pretty yellowy, but we're gonna try to make it work. I think this was a little bit more full coverage than what I was expecting. In hindsight, I probably should have used a damp beauty blender type sponge instead of this foundation brush. This next product is a cream color palette by CColor Cosmetics. Comes with 3 contours and 3 highlighters, none of which are particularly shimmery like you would think for a highlighter. I think of them more as like a concealer maybe. And the contour, actually I use the lightest shade. The CColor palettes rarely have shade names, so it's hard to describe which ones I used, but I pointed to them. For blush, I use the Makeup Revolution London Revolution Blush Palette. It's called a Blush Palette Melts. And I think about this time I was realizing that I was layering on too many cream products all on top of each other. Next up is the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. I got this in shade Classic Ivory 710. And I don't think this was the best choice for trying to set this. As I'm checking out my skin texture and the coverage of my complexion, I'm noticing that under my eyes it's starting to look a little crepey, so I grabbed that Weleda, you guys are going to have to tell me how to pronounce it, Skin Food. Just tapping this under my eyes seemed to give my eyes that moisture that I needed. Next we have the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Chocolate. It is a very, very fine tipped point. It works really well if you're someone who likes to draw in little individual hairs. The spoolie on it is also very fine. The shade may be a touch dark when you compare it to my hair, but probably should try some different eyebrow products. I ended up with 5 different lip products. I got a liner in the shade Nude Suede Shoes and another one in the shade Need Me. And both of those are obviously very nude. One of them is a little bit more tan. One of them is more pinky undertoned. I also grabbed a Filler Instinct Plumping Lip Polish in the shade Sparkling Please. And the best part of the whole video, the NYX Professional Makeup Ultimate Utopia eyeshadow palette. There are 40 shades in this. It says UUSP01. I bought this online. I think it was $25. I did see a version of it at a local Walgreens that was a much smaller size type palette, but it had some of the key colors in it. I was very tempted to get it, but I decided not to since I have the large one, and that would have been just ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and switch to some music as we're pointing and applying these. I am going to do 3 looks with this one palette, so I hope you enjoy. Before I forget, I'm actually using 1 eyeshadow brush on each of the looks I'm using today, so I'm not switching up between brushes. I'm trying to get an entire look with just a single brush. Let me know what you think of the different style of editing and recording of this video. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to playing some music, and I'll talk to you towards the end of the first look. All right, you guys, look number 1 is down, and one of the things I love about this palette, it's an unexpected surprise, is it kind of forces you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. I pretty much used, well, I guess I didn't use this one. I could have put that in the corner. I'll use it, but not right now. I did use these shades though, just in this row, because I thought, Wow, with the mustard and the eggplant and this lime green, that is out of my comfort zone. And I wanted to see what it would look like. And you know what? I actually like it. It's actually really fun. It actually blended really well. I don't have any complaints about this. You could easily get 8 looks because you have rose. I'm gonna avoid maybe some of these big glitters because it's not really my thing. I wanna do all the rose. I wanna do all of the looks that are just in these columns, and we don't have enough time for that. I'm gonna do this pink and green row right here. It's got like a bronze in it, kind of a dusty rose, more of a mauve-y color, a lighter color, and then this bright, crazy green. I'm not sure what color it is because I can't read those fine points, but I'm gonna take this off. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, it's kind of a bronzy, kind of a green, kind of a, it's just a dark color. Originally I thought, oh, well, I'll just pick up a little bit of it and buff it into my eyelash line just as a eyeliner, and it didn't work. It was all over. It got all the way down here. It just, not the right brush, I guess. It was a fun experiment to try to do an entire look with one brush, but I don't know that I would recommend that, especially not with this one. I think that's definitely a shade that I would probably dip into some setting spray before trying to apply it if I wanted to do something like that again. This crazy green color here, I mean, it is by far the boldest color in here. And it's like a, I don't even know if you guys are gonna be able to see that. It's almost like an acid green. I like it a lot. I think it's definitely more edgy than that first green shimmer that I used. Would I leave the house like this? I mean, maybe. I mean, I feel like I've got a little bit of cleaning up to do still from some of the follow-up. I'm not too specific about it right now just because I know I'm going to take this off. But do I think that the colors ended up working? Yeah, I mean, you guys, I've got hooded mature eyelids. So when you're looking straight on, you can see a little bit of the kind of the dusty rose and some of that dark color on the outside, but you don't see the acid green until I blink, and that's actually kind of a fun, unexpected thing to do. I wouldn't do it for work, but I would do it just for fun. Aside from that last color that scared me, I'm really enjoying the color stories in this palette. There are so many options, and as I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, okay, you could do squares of color. Like, you don't have to do row or columns like I'm doing. I guess this would be rows. If you look at it like this, these are columns, these are rows. I'm doing columns. I've done 2 columns so far. See this dusty rose right here? You could do that as an all over the lid, a little bit of eyeliner and some mascara and out the door for super fast, super easy, going to work. That color too, slightly more warmer and pinky. I'm really digging this. There is so many options in here. And I think if you are if you're done with neutrals, if you're like tired of neutrals and you want something fun and creative and entertaining, this is a great palette. I'm not really sure because I like all of them. When I look at this, I like every single row of color. And again, I want to do another row. I think I need to do this row over here. Something a little bit more on the cooler side. I think we're going to do that one. So I'm going to take this off. I'll be right back. right, you guys, look number 3. I've got the NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. I did 3 different looks with one eyeshadow brush. Each of the 3 looks, I've dipped into 14 shades so far, and this teal shimmer down here was my favorite. I don't know why I'm feeling the shimmers today, but I think this cooler toned, smoky, more of a date night, I guess, kind of look, I like it. I like it with the brown eyes. I think sometimes the cooler colors of brown eyes can be pretty flattering. Just mostly a face of NYX. And if not NYX, certainly drugstore, or if not drugstore, drugstore pricing. This Ultimate Utopia eyeshadow palette, this is a great one to have. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, but want to dip into a lot of color, different formulas, different textures, I love this. This is one that I could see actually traveling with. If you're going to be gone, you know, for a while and you need a day look and then a night look and you're doing it for like a week or something, this is a fantastic palette for that. I liked the formulas. I liked the color stories. I think that gave me everything I needed to come up with some good looks. This Veil, Angel Veil primer, I have to try this maybe with a different foundation. Right now, I think my skin looks okay. I got so much fallout from one of those shadows that I can still see it on my face. Tons of eyeshadow that has attached itself to the cream products that I had before. Not the smartest move on my part. That's the reason why I like to say that I'm not a makeup artist, because I'm not. Do I think that the fallout ruined this palette for me? No. I just know now, do your eyeshadow before you do face products. Or if you're gonna use face products, maybe not so much cream, or maybe bake if you're younger and you can actually bake and not look like rice paper when you're done. This Born to Glow, I've used this before. I like these kind of glowy illuminator, liquid illuminators underneath my foundation. I think it gives you kind of a lit from within glow, and I find that I don't reach for highlighter when I've got this because I've already got enough shine going on, and I do try to keep it kind of, you know, in this sort of E shape. This Born to Glow foundation though, it's too dark. I got too dark of a color. It's a lot thicker of a foundation than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, between it being too dark and too much, it says naturally radiant foundation. I just think it was too full coverage for what I thought it was. And now when I have it layered on my hand like it is right now, it is very glowy. It's a little tacky. I'm not going to say I hate it. It's not going into my face full of products that I hate. I might have to work it in with something else. Like I think it might work either underneath. And see, it's dried down now. And when it dries down, I think it's a little bit more of a normal color. Like my skin tone doesn't look bad right now. It's not like it's orange or anything. But I think I'm going to have to play with this a little bit more. This wasn't a home run right out of the package. Because I've been using so many cream products lately, I thought I would give this a try just to see if I did like it. This one for my contour, and then this one actually worked as a really good concealer for me. These ones were too light color and too cool toned. They just kind of gave me sort of an ashy kind of, didn't care for that. The eyebrow pencil was perfectly fine. No issues with that. It's a fine tip. And then I did use the Makeup Revolution London Cream Blush Palette. I like cream blushes. I don't think this is my favorite cream blush. I think I enjoy the Honest Beauty one better, frankly. I had to go back and maybe compare cream blushes because did it perform? Like, was I able to get something out of it that I would leave the house in? Yes. Between the primer, the illuminator, the foundation, the cream contour, and the cream blush, my face feels like I have a lot of makeup on. I did try to use a little bit of the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. I think it got into my crepey lines, and then I had to go back over it with the Skin Food just to kind of keep it moisturized. Now, between looks, I did use my Glow Lab Micellar Water, and this stung. And so I was using this a lot. I do really like the eyeshadow base. I thought was really good. I like the consistency of it. It's creamy enough to get on. It gives you a little bit of opacity to kind of minimize, and I don't know. I use this for all 3 looks, and I can actually recommend that one. For 2 of the 3 looks, I use the Snapscara, the Maybelline Snapscara, and it's okay. If you're not looking for the luminous, long Notice Me lashes and you want something a little bit more of a subtle lash, this is fine. If you're trying to work your natural lashes into maybe a false lash, I can see how this would work. I think it worked probably better on my lower lashes than I think I want more. I want more out of my upper lashes. 2 lip liners and 3 lip products. I guess they're all lip products. I got one that was a little bit more of a pink color, one that was a little bit more of a nude color. I think I used the nude one today. They say Filler Instinct on them, which leads me to believe that they're lip plumping tech products. I did use this one right now. It's more of a balm, I think. And it looks so dark in the tube that I was like, that's going to be too dark for me. But it is a very comfortable sheer wash of color when I have it on. And then I'm actually going to put a little bit more of this gloss right on top here. And I think it's fine. This I can definitely feel the lip plumping properties. I feel like I've got a lot of makeup on. I look like I have a lot of makeup on when I look at myself in the little viewfinder, especially with the dark eyeshadow, but I loved that teal green color. And I think if you were to do something a little bit more simple than what I have going on right now, I think it would be a really fun, fresh sort of summer look. I'm thrilled with this palette. I've got a little Wet n Wild setting spray. Should we use that? I don't mind the rose scent, and it's not horribly aggressive. I think they have several of these out there. This is a 3-in-1 primer water. So it's prep, set, and refresh. So I guess you can use it throughout the day. After putting this on, my makeup doesn't feel quite so heavy. I did something different with this video. If you guys have made it this far, did a little voiceover while I was applying because I wanted to be able to hopefully try to tell you guys what shades I was doing and my thoughts at the time of doing it. I hope you guys are doing really well. I hope this was fun. If you've been at all interested in this palette, I can say it's a good palette. It's a fun palette. It's not super expensive. You get a lot to work with, and I like the colors. The colors actually work for me. So if you're a lady of a certain age looking to get out of just neutrals and just nudes, and you want to play with something that gives you a little bit more reach, maybe express yourself a little bit, I'd recommend this. I would absolutely recommend this. I'm not a sponsored, affiliate, endorsed, nothing like that. I probably never will be because I'm very honest with my assessments of things, and I don't know that that's a popular thing to do, but I am going to say I hope you guys are doing well. I will see you on my regular schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Leave me a comment down below. How do you guys feel about the NYX products? Like, when I walk into Walgreens, there's a huge NYX display right in front. I know you can get it at Ulta and other places. It tends to be on the drugstore brand. I think I've seen NYX products at like Nordstrom Rack and, you know, everywhere. It seems like I see NYX everywhere, and I was very much curious about this palette when I saw that it was released relatively recently. Let me know. Let me know how you guys feel about the drugstore versus the high end, how you feel about the NYX products. And I feel like the prices have come up a little bit, which it seems like I thought that NYX was a lot less expensive. And when I look at it recently, I'm like, oh, pretty proud of that. Aren't you? All right, you guys, I'm going to get out of your hair. I hope you guys are doing well. And until my next video, bye for now.